Yeah, I mean, I think real life conversation about different things, especially the things that go on in this world, man, that affect us all, and being able to speak on it from your own point of view with your own personal opinion, no bias. I think it's good. I think one of the good things, Rod, man, is that we as men, we need that outlet.
Right.
We need people to bounce our ideas, our thoughts, our emotions, our frustrations off of. I think a lot of times, man, we internalize a lot of things, and it's good to know that you are not the only person that goes through the things that you go through.
No,
And
no.
when you talk about certain things and you're able to idealize certain things, you understand that it's not you just going through it, and that you are more alike than you are different, and that you have more things in common than you assume that you don't. Things in common than you assume that you don't.
No doubt, man, because the thoughts that like crawl into your head that you be thinking that you're the only one sitting on your own island with, man. And you have a talk with somebody, they be like, hey, damn, man, I was thinking the same thing.
Thing exactly.
But you
Exactly.
keep this, tight to your vest and everything. And like, I listen to the Breakfast Club all the time, and Charlamagne always talks about mental health and everything. And cats be literally feeling like they gotta wage battles internally with themselves
Yep.
on
Yep.
stuff that they going through as black
Yes.
men, not realizing that, hey, it's something akin to all black men. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly. And that, and the biggest misconception, man, is that the strong people, keep everything close to the best, like you said, and that we just internalize things, and that you just fight through the pain, and that, weakness is if you show that you can't handle it. But that's the thing, is that a lot of men that do that, they don't live that long, because your heart, your mind, your body, your soul can only take so much of being weighed down by your thoughts and your feelings and emotions. And those are things that you can't accept. Now, you can do a better idea. You can have better alternatives of how you release those things, or how you project those different frustrations or those different energies. But there is nothing wrong with having a friendship or a brotherhood or a community of people that you can have communion with, and say, hey, this is what's going on with me right now. This is what I'm experiencing. This is what I'm feeling. How do you guys deal with these things? And there's always somebody that might have a different alternative to how you deal with things versus
Right.
how you do. Now, this is where we falter in this, and this is the one thing where I can see why people don't, is because a lot of times, sometimes people can want to know what's going on with you just so they can be quote unquote nosy.
Yeah.
And
And I
so you
hold
all,
something over you.
yeah, and or hold, so exactly. So you do have to be wary, and you do have to be careful of people like that. But
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, there's always going to be people in the world like that. But there are a good number of people who literally just want to be able to give you the platform to talk and express those things, and you have to take advantage of those people. Now, you have to know when to be able to deal with some certain things on your own. But if it's something that's heavy on your heart or your mind, and you need to talk, then we should be all good judge of character at this point in our lives, to where we know, hey, these are things I can bring to God and talk about. These are things I can talk to my buddies about. These are things I can talk to
Mm-hmm.
my wife or my girlfriend, or my family
Mm-hmm.
member about. We
Right.
have to, we should have a good discerning at this point in our lives of what we're able to discuss. And the thing is, you can only be honest with others as you are willing to be with yourself first.
Mm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's the thing, like you said, man. It's like you get to a certain point in your life where you realize that, hey, man, I ain't gotta hold these things captive in my heart. I don't care about certain things that I struggled with when I was younger, that I was embarrassed about, that I felt like people looked down upon me or frown upon me, saying I was too poor. I didn't, whatever. So as I get older, man, I tell my friends about the struggles I went through. Being a kid on welfare, going to school, going to the store with food stamps, coming back to school after Christmas, and having a Salvation Army jacket that everybody on the playground had. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Realizing that red bag in that closet that my mom had gifts in came from the Salvation Army. And being prideful and realizing that, hey, my mom did all she could and not even care about it. You
Yep.
see? But it takes a certain amount of growth, man, because a lot of people, man, like I said, my famous, Lauryn Hill quote, a man without no conscience will even lie to himself.
Yep.
Okay. And so people lie to themselves and they get themselves in trouble because, you know, they don't even know who they are, man. There's certain, you know, cats that can't even look themselves in the mirror. Okay. Because they live in different sides, man. Remember like that Ice Cube song, True to the Game back in the day, right?
Yeah.
When he was like, when he was like, he said, trying to be just like Jack, but Jack is calling you a nigga behind your back. So back up, genius. I don't need you to correct my broken English. You know that's right. You ain't white, so stop holding your ass tight. You know, it's just the duality, like we were talking about earlier, man, a duality of people trying to fit in and trying to be who everybody else expect them to be. You know, that's the thing that we all battle with, you know, but I battle with that until a certain age, man, where I am not going to say everything agreeable to you just because we share the same characteristics and we have to be marching to the same drum. Dog, we are grown individuals. We got different upbringings, different circumstances in life, but we go through the same plight, but we ain't got to be stride for stride with everything that we do.
Exactly. You know, and I can attest to that, you know, and I think that's something that, you know, a lot of, even a lot of the high school kids, a lot of the young high school men that we know now, even growing up, you know, where we were in high school, you know, I was a sophomore when you and Ray and Marvin and all you guys were seniors, and I looked up to you guys, and I was going through that thing where I was 15, first year in high school, wanted to fit in. You know, you want to be socially acceptable, culturally acceptable, and you do it, you know, at a lot of times at the expense of yourself, whether you know it or not, because you don't want to be the one that's left out by the peer group that you want to accept you. You know, and I went through that a lot because after I left Federal Way, I went to Renton High School, and I found myself in the same situation, just in a different place.
Right.
You know, and not just a different place as far as school, but a different place in my life where I was, you know, because, and then this is another thing, you know, high school is good and bad. I say it's good for the simple fact that if you are able to make it through, you learn a lot about life, and you understand that once it's over, a lot of the things that you put so much levity on don't mean a lot. You know, who's popular, who has the clothes, who has the shoes, who has the girls. None of that stuff matters once you graduate, because you all have to contribute to the world.
Right. And it's crazy because you know, like my daughter always says, Dad, you got a lyric for everything. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just a Jay-Z lyric. It's just lyrics, you know, because, man, we a hip-hop generation, right?
Exactly.
So I think back to what you just said, and I think about 50 Cent, where he says, damn, homie, in high school you was the man, homie. What the fuck happened to you? Because that is what happens, bro. Cats say that, you know, that was living a life in high school, man. Them cats are still living that life same way now, dog. You know how many times I go to the mall and cats be like, hey, what's up, bro? And I be like, I'm walking with my kids. I'm walking with my kids, and they like, hey, Dad, who was that? I said, I don't know.
Exactly. Man, do you know to this day, Rod, there's people that I bump into from high school that and I don't even know their name.
Right.
Don't know their name, don't know what they talking about. But you know, I've noticed this in life, and you can attest to this too. I feel like, man, there's certain people that get caught up in certain eras, whether it's the 60s or the 70s, 80s or the 90s, you know, and it's like, it's stuck in this time warp because the thing is, mentally and emotionally, it was so comfortable for them that being pulled out of that, growth is not for the faint of heart, man. It's really not. You know, and I noticed it a lot, and you're very right. There's a lot of guys that we know from high school that even if we didn't go to the same school, they doing the same stuff. They on the same stuff they was in high school.
It's unfortunate, you know? Bro. It's an unfortunate conundrum that, you know, cats find themselves in, man. And like you said, it's a comfort level. Like, you know, my father-in-law, man, he loved like the 60s and 70s, which is cool because I get to learn about Curtis Mayfield and Sly and the Family Stone. And I get to listen to Janis Joplin and Al Green and, you know, all the cuts that he played because it's like one of the best eras of music. And so based off the fact that he loves that era so much, man, you know, his daughter was raised in that era, introduced me to that era because I was raised on Mahalia Jackson and, you know, BB and CC. you know,
Yeah.
just
Oh yeah, man.
Christian music. But
Yeah.
my wife introduced me to that soul music. And like I said, it came from her, like you said, her dad being stuck in that era.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's a shame when certain cats are stuck in that era and they don't learn the error of their ways.
Yeah, man. Very true.
Okay? When you
Very
still thinking like you did in junior high, man, there ain't no growth. Right? You need to be able to grow from that.